Welcome to Griffin's Gaming Guides. In this video we're going to show you how you can acquire the Bone Chopper melee weapon in Remnant 2, which before you can do so you're going to need to take down one of the toughest events in the entire game. So the Bone Chopper can be found in the Losomn Great Hall biome, which you're going to need to go all the way through down to the kitchen. At the final part of the area, go up the stairs, where you're then going to be able to go behind the ovens and find the Ravenous Medallion on a shelf. Make sure that you collect it and then go back to the starting point. You can either use the lift in the kitchen, kind of like the service elevator, or you can simply go through, open up one of the wooden doors and then use the main elevator to get back up to the checkpoint. And I do strongly recommend resting at the checkpoint, as you have an incredibly challenging fight coming up. So once you're all set, you've got your best gear equipped, I do recommend having at least the handler archetype equipped, or any other archetype where you're going to be able to have some support with you, such as the summoner. Obviously make sure that you level everything up to level 10 as well. Go in with your best gear, your best armor, and your best kind of, if you've got anything that can do health regen or increase your damage, you are going to need it. So once you're ready, go through, use the Ravenous Medallion on the double doors, and then talk to old Tubbs, who's sitting on the other side of the table. Have a chat with him, and then make sure that you eat some of the rotten food, which will then inflict you with the Ravenous status, which is one of the worst status effects in the entire game. This Ravenous status effect is a bloody nightmare, because it prevents you from healing. Every time you try and use one of your relics, you will throw up instead. Now, you're going to have a literal army of Fae to take down, as well as some specials, including those runed kind of iron masked enemies that if they grab hold of you, it's an instant death. There's no way of getting around it. Even if you're the challenger and you can get yourself back up, if you get hit by that runed enemy, you're dead. You're straight back to the checkpoint. There's no revive for you. Now, you will be very familiar with how to take down the Fae as you progress through the Great Hall biome and probably a good few other sections in Losomn. These things are tough. There's no, like I say, there's no way around it. This is one of the toughest fights in the game. If you can go in with a decent team around you, then do so. If you can go in with any sort of supportive abilities, make sure you've got them, especially health regen, as you are going to be suffering here. Now, the Fae, for a good while of the fight, won't stop coming for you, and they're the flying armoured ones that send those charged fire arrows towards you, which can deal an incredible amount of damage, especially as they leave kind of pools of magic fire on the floor, inflicting you with a burn status, taking off even more of your health, making the fight even more challenging. Normally, a good way to deal with them is to stand just the other side of a doorway, filter them through, creating your own little kill box. You can then take them down. But given the fact you can't do that in this fight, you're going to need to stand behind a pillar, use cover, try and do whatever you can, just get rid of them as soon as possible. Then take down the specials as they appear, as well as kind of like the melee Fae that come in as well, and the little kind of cannon fodder ones. Take every single enemy down in the kind of Great Feast fight. Once you've done so, you're then going to be able to talk to old Tubbs again, concluding the event. Now, with the Great Feast fight concluded, you're then going to be able to go into one of two service elevators. You've got one on the left, you've got one on the right. You want to go into the one on the left, ensuring that you've still got some ammo left, as once you've gone down the bottom of the service elevator, you're going to have a special enemy, the Executioner, to take down, who isn't the Executioner aberration, but he might as well be, as this guy can be fairly tough, especially as per usual with this game, you're in a very tight area and you've got a very tough enemy. Take the Executioner down, you're then going to be able to look over to your right, where you're finally going to be able to acquire the Bone Chopper melee weapon, and it is a pretty good one. Now, the Bone Chopper melee weapon is a very good weapon to use, especially if you're going up against the Dran, or if you're going up against any of the slugs or any of the snakes over in Yasha, as it is a very effective axe. You're going to have a nice charged attack where you can swing the axe forward twice, dealing a significant amount of damage, especially if you connect both hits. You got a nice charge backstep, kind of slash forward, as well as the usual kind of hacking and slashing attacks that come with an axe weapon in Remnant 2. This is definitely one that you want to try and look at upgrading, but given the fact that you've already taken down the Great Feast fight, you should be fairly powerful anyway. It's kind of a barrier to entry. It's not like this Bone Chopper's got some fantastic ability, so if you have got a better melee weapon and you're tight on resources, don't upgrade this one, upgrade the other one. If, however, you manage to take down the Great Feast fight as one of your first events in Remnant 2, and you're short of a decent melee weapon, put some resources into the Bone Chopper. But anyway, that's where you can acquire the Bone Chopper melee weapon in Remnant 2 in Losomn at the Great Hall biome. I do hope that the guide helps you out. If it has, please do me a massive favour, click the sub button. If you do need any other further information or advice about the Great Hall Feast fight thing, then grab me down in the comments and I'll get to you as soon as I can. Either way though, enjoy the rest of your week. Please take care of yourselves out there, and I do look forward to seeing you back here at Griffin's Gaming Guides.
Good. Well, at least that's over.